Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Cross. I'm currently an intern with Family Search on the engagement team. My official title is a marketing and innovation intern. And on behalf of Family Search, I just want to thank you for taking the time to volunteer with us as we help others learn how they can build the world's family tree. So let's go ahead and get started. As you're helping teach others, this is just a quick acronym that I came up with to help you remember your purpose and why you are doing what you're doing. So J is for just do it. Even though it may be hard to talk to other people and to teach them how to use these tools, you just need to build up the confidence to go and do this. And because you've expressed your willingness to volunteer, it shows to us that you are more than willing to help out with this. So just have confidence in yourself and just go up and talk to people and do your best. E is for empathize. When teaching others, try to put yourselves in their shoes so that way you can better understand how you can help them. S is for serve like Christ, and our goal is to strive to teach as well as he did. U is for understand. We want you to make sure that you take the time outside of the event itself to actually practice these tools, learn how to use them, so that way it's easier for you when you are teaching and interacting with others to help them understand how they can best use these tools. And S is for stand tall. After having practiced these tools, have confidence in yourself and go up and interact with these people and trust that the Spirit will guide you when teaching them how to use these wonderful tools. So just remember Jesus. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some of our digital tools that you will be asked to know. Number one, you're just going to be you're just going to need to be familiar with downloading and using the Family Search Tree app. So this is what the icon looks like when you look it up, whether it's in the App Store or the Google Play Store. And yeah, next is you will need to know how to help others create a Family Search account if they do not already have one. After downloading the app, this is going to be ideally done on a phone. This experience can be done on a laptop, however, for the purpose of this training, I'm just going to walk you through how to do it on the phone. So after the Family Tree app is downloaded, this should be a page that you see that comes up. And ideally, we will want members of the church to sign up with their church account, as this will allow them to participate in ordinances ready and give them opportunities to take family names to the temple later on. However, if you do interact with a non-member, encourage them to sign up with Google, Apple, or Facebook, making it much easier for them to remember their password and their login information. Oftentimes when people are logging back into Family Search or when they're creating an account for the first time as members of the church, they will often need to find their membership record number. And so if these individuals have the Tools app downloaded, they can click into the Tools app, click on the little person icon in the top right, click on their profile, and then click on membership information. And after having clicked on membership information, you should be able to help them find where their membership record number is. So next is Ordinances Ready. This tool is incredible. If you haven't used it, please use it for yourself as it will really help you go take family names to the temple. So within the Family Tree app, again, once that's open and once the member has logged in with their church information, there will be a little temple button at the bottom. And as long as their tree is filled out, this should work for them in their experience. So in order to use Ordinances Ready, you will go ahead and click on Temple. After clicking on Temple, the little Ordinances Ready button will pop up. Once you click on that, you can then select the specific type of ordinance you are hoping to complete. And obviously it depends on whether or not the user in question is attempting to print and reserve either male or female names. So in this case, I just selected baptism and confirmations, but depending on the individual, they could also select a different ordinance. After clicking on that, this little loading bar will appear, and afterwards, you will then be able to see the people that are now reserved to your reservation list that you can then take to the temple. So when you click on View People, you will see these individuals. You'll see the ordinances that are being reserved for these individuals, and then you can click Continue. And then go ahead and hit Save to Photos. And then after you hit Save to Photos, you can view cards. And this is really nice primarily because most temples now have it so that you can go in and scan this QR code to print off specific names there at the temple. So that way, if the individuals you're talking with don't have a printer, they can just go to the temple, get the name cards printed there, and do their family's ordinances. It's really, really cool, and it's a fantastic tool we heavily encourage you to use, as well as we encourage you to introduce others to as you're teaching them more about family history and family search. Now we get into the fun stuff. So here, we're going to start talking about tree building. And I will share these slides with you. There's a link here that goes to the slides so that way you can reference them and better understand how to do tree building in the first place. So now we are going to jump to the BYU Record Linking Lab Quick Hint button. Don't worry about following along with me step by step in this case, just watch and learn from this walkthrough. However, later on in this presentation, there will be a QR code that you can access that'll help you be able to practice using SourceLinker and using this Record Linking Lab button. So here you can see there's a quick hint button, which will jump you to a record and person profile comparison to determine how potentially a record might match up with somebody that's already in the family tree. Depending on the project we have you volunteering at, will determine the area you will most likely be working with. So you can see below the number of hints to get, there's an options button. If you go ahead and just click on the options button, this will then pop up where you can then select a specific area. And because you're primarily going to be working with new tree builders, just have them select easy every time. And then ideally, you also want to make sure the tree extending hints slider and button is also selected. So once your area is selected, in this case, I'm just going to do a general easy hint to make things simple. I'll X out of that and then click on the quick hint button. Now, if your individual is already logged into Family Search and everything is already taken care of in that sense, a new page should pop up that we call SourceLinker. And so in SourceLinker, you can see on the left side in the blue, it references a record, and on the right side in green, it references a person profile within Family Search. So the goal is to determine whether or not the record on the left side matches with the person already in Family Search on the right side. So first things first, we're going to go through here, we're going to look at names and compare, and we're going to use a point system to determine if indeed this individual does match with the record in question. And so what I mean by point system is pretty much every correct correlation we find is going to result in 1 point. And once we get about 5 or 6 points, that's a good determinant of the record actually pertaining to the individual in question. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, please reach out and we'll be able to clarify that. But here we're going to start and we're going to see, okay, Luis and Luis matches, so that's 1 point. Okay, next, 1910, that's about 1909, so really close there, so that's another point. Typically with dates, if it's within 3 to 5 years, it still is probably pretty good. Sometimes when individuals keep track of records and things, um, sometimes they write things down wrong or they make certain assumptions. So if it's within about 3 to 5 years, it's probably pretty accurate and we can consider it a point. So in this case, New Jersey as well is there, so we have 3 points. We're going to scroll down and look at all of this. Over here on this left side, that'll be the new information that we might be able to potentially add. Hall Schmel, or Schmel and Hall Schmel, that matches and the dates are really close. So that's another 2 points. So now we're at 5. Robert Schmel, Robert doesn't appear to pop up anywhere. However, if we keep looking, we can see here an unknown, Ellen Schmel and Ellen Dale Holton, that might be a match. Because of everything that is common in this record, I'm going to assume that Louis Schmel and Mary Louise Holton are indeed the same person. So because I think this, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to add all of this information. Once this information is added, I'm going to keep scrolling down and I'm going to hit yes, attach, because I do think it is a record that pertains to this person. This page will then pop up and you can see Luis and Hall Schmel are already attached, and so now I'm going to just select Robert And it looks like Robert
wasn't previously on Family Search.
so I'm going to hit add new person or find a match. And once I'm here, it's going to have me compare Robert with a number of different individuals to determine if maybe he already does pertain to somebody else in the tree. From these individuals listed, I don't think this person pertains to one of these profiles, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit no match. And when it does that, it's now going to create a brand new person profile for him. So now I'm going to hit continue. Now I'm going to hit add, and now this will pop up. I'll go ahead and add this new information to Robert's person profile, and then I'm going to hit yes attach. And now that document is attached to that brand new profile. Now Ellen was originally marked as unknown. However, we're going to hit add new person and we're going to find Ellen Dale to compare information to see if maybe they might be the same person. So we're going to go ahead and just select Ellen, and then we're going to hit continue. Now when this information is pulled up, I should be able to compare the information just like we did before. What's interesting about this is Ellen and Ellen match up. She was a female from Pennsylvania. However, the date is really, really far off. And because it's so far off comparing 1945 to 1902, I'm hesitant to say that this is a match. And because of this, and I'm not quite sure what to do, I'm just going to X out of it and leave it. This is a key thing to remember when working with individuals. If you come across a record and you're not quite sure how to handle it, it's totally okay to just exit out of the page so that way you can just ensure you don't incorrectly add something. So in this case, I'm just going to hit the X at the top left. Now I've exited out of it, and now I can go back to the slides or back to the quick hit button again. Now that I've given you that example of how to do tree building, let's bounce back into here so that way y'all can better understand a few crucial aspects when helping others also know how to do tree building. Number one, you just want to emphasize the importance of trying to identify if the record is a correct match or not. Just because there is a suggested record to person profile comparison does not always mean that the individual in question and the record do indeed match up. That's why you need to go through and make sure that the record and the specific details do match before actually attaching the record. And number two, have participants of tree building include reasons for changing the person's information. There's that little pencil icon that you can click on when you are in the source linker page, and when you do that, and when you make changes to individuals, you have the option of including reasons behind why you made changes. So just encourage people to describe why they are making certain changes if needs be, so that way we can better track together what changes are being made to specific person profiles. Next, and again, this is somewhat repetitive because I highlighted this in the previous section of this video, but again, use the point system. You want to make sure you have 5 to 6 points before attaching a record, whether it's matching names, dates, locations, family relationships, etc. Lastly, we have had some difficulties in the past with individuals clicking on the quick hints button and having a pop-up blocker issue. So these are some common fixes to that problem. So that way, in case if someone is trying to click on the quick hint button from the BYU Record Linking Lab and it's not coming up, you can refer to these to hopefully help them figure out how to turn off their pop-up blockers so that way they can use the quick and easy button. So go ahead and practice right now. Feel free to take a screenshot of this if you're watching this on your phone, or to just take a photo of it, and go ahead and open up the BYU Record Linking Lab quick hint button, go through and just practice. At least do 5 or more different records and compare them to people on the family tree, and take notes of the specific scenarios you come across. So that way, if you come up against any difficult things, work through it, and you can remember how you overcame those difficulties. So that way, in case anyone else that you interact with, if they have a similar problem, you can help guide them to know what they need to do. So lastly, just remember in In a way, you are being a representative of Christ through helping bring about his work, which is the gathering of Israel. So, all of you are going to do great. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to help us out with this. God bless, and we will see you soon.